Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Backyard Gardens Podcast. Hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day. Today is all about fertilizing. Yeah, it's one of those days. So again, we're going on that path of creating everything to get your garden going in the right direction and the different pieces to the puzzle, I would say. Wouldn't you, Batavia? That would kind of get you there.
That's my
Spirit
good
fingers.
wording. Yeah, building blocks.
Building
Building blocks,
blocks.
man.
So look, if you want to support us, do so. Become a patron, become a subscriber, get yourself some seeds. Link is below. Use the code YBBBB to get yourself a discount available until February 15th. So get yourself a discount to help support the show and keep us on the air even longer. But yeah, we're not selling fertilizer yet. And there's no plans in doing that, so don't get excited. That would be a nightmare. But fertilizer it's a very hot topic. A lot of people don't really use fertilizer. Some people use a lot of fertilizer. Some people use organic, synthetic, and some people view things as fertilizer that, in my personal opinion, are not fertilizers. So there is all of that we have to contend with in this. What's your stance on fertilizer, Batavia?
Um, as of now, in the last few years, I have been an advocate for fertilizing. Years prior, I just didn't want the complication. I didn't want the additional step. And I didn't recognize the value of adding a little bit more food to those things you're trying to grow. So I am pro fertilizing now. I am still a little particular about what I use for fertilizing, and that bit of ease still folds into kind of the decisions that I make.
Right. So when you said the additional step, is that additional step that much of a big deal now that you're actually into it and doing it?
Oh yeah, hindsight,
Hindsight 2020.
Well, hindsight was, I was overreacting to like one more thing to do. No, it's probably the work that really is to be noted is just to try to find a good price for fertilizer if you're purchasing it. So that's the more I spend more time hunting out, something that I feel like is priced in a way that I want to purchase it than I do applying fertilizer.
Yeah, and buying in bulk is an amazing way to save. That's really important. So buying in bulk makes all the difference in the world. Yeah, I agree with you completely on that. And it's not a big step, but it's one of those things you don't know what you're missing until you do it. And
Hmm.
you got to find the path that you want to go on. I've gone all over the place in my gardening life about it. I've gone from, I will only use organic fertilizers. I've never only done synthetic. I've gone from not doing fertilizers to just doing amendments as fertilizers, from doing a lot of fertilizing to little to, but it's been all over the board. And this is just kind of part of my journey to kind of test it out and see what we can find and what works for us. And we seem to have found it, but this year, and we'll get into it at the end, I'm going to tweak it yet again this year.
Mm. Hmm. I'm interested in hearing about that. Maybe,
Yeah.
is it on today's episode?
It is on today's episode. Yeah. So we got to save
Right.
about a minute or two.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
So timing the fertilizing is really important. Well, let's go back real quick. Why is fertilizer important?
Well, I think that we do a number of different things to feed our soil, but fertilizer helps feed the plants. I think that generally speaking, you could not use fertilizer as I have over years and still produce food. I think the volume that a lot of us are after is highly influenced by use of fertilizer. To be fair, for the years that I wasn't using fertilizer and I still had nice production, I was also using quite a bit of compost, right?
Right.
So right now I'm doing kind of a 1-2 punch in both.
Yeah. And I mean, compost is a great amendment. It's, and a lot of people call it fertilizer. I don't consider it fertilizer.
I
Um,
don't view it as that either.
yeah, it's definitely an amendment. But essentially, the way I look at it is you're adding nutrients back into the garden to feed the plants. Now, we have multiple options for that. We have organic and we have synthetic. Organic kind of feeds the soil and the plants, but once you feed the soil, it in turn feeds the plants. Synthetic basically immediately feeds the plants. And I want you to remember, yeah, it's exactly, it's like a Red Bull, but it's with all the negatives too. You can overfeed easier, stuff like that. You basically get the shakes, give it a heart attack, all that good stuff. I was watching a video the other day, and a guy's like, "I drink these every day, and I've had 4 false heart attacks, but that's all right." And I'm like, "Good night." I've never gotten into the energy drink craze. I don't even drink caffeine, so I don't need
Yeah,
it.
well, I really enjoy caffeine, as many of you all know, but I can't tolerate those energy drinks,
No,
like, ever. Like, well, that's a different conversation. We'll get into it in a
no,
backyard garden after dark.
we're gonna get into it in a few minutes.
Not the
Just
Red Bull.
yeah, just trust me. Trust me. So yeah, but so that's what fertilizer does, and it consists of nitrogen, potassium, or nitrogen, phosphate, and potassium, N, P, and K. So timing your fertilizing is really important. I don't know where you stand on this, Batavia, and I'm not trying to sit here and act like I've got it figured out either. But do you have a timing for your fertilizing that you've come up with or that you're happy with?
I have a initial approach to fertilizing, and then for several crops, I have kind of a schedule in my mind about when I want to come back around to fertilize. I don't have that across the garden. And if you kind of consider, remember, I initially was, kind of pausing around fertilizing just because it was one more step. And so that, although I know that it wasn't the biggest step, it's not the most work ever, I still kind of carry that. So simple is better for me. So with that in mind, my initial fertilizing and then my follow-up feedings, right? It's for heavy feeders. It's for plants that I really feel like are going to benefit the most by it. There's some plants that once they're planted, that's it. They were fertilized then and never again. And more or less not by design, but instead just based on kind of time limits and focusing on other things.
So to be,
Kinda. I kinda
yeah,
got it together.
yeah, but to be clear, you're talking about typically you do a planting or you do fertilizing at planting, and then for a lot of plants you don't fertilize again after that. Is that what you're saying?
Some plants I don't fertilize again after that, for some I do.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. See, I started off with that, and then I've graduated from there. The way I do it is every single thing I plant gets a pre-planting fertilizer right off the bat. So, but then after that, each plant, and I say plant, but what I really mean is like each garden bed will get plant or get fertilized on a as needed basis. I do keep a schedule, but the nutrients they get are going to be different based on what they need, and the heavy feeders will get more. What I've graduated into is a granular fertilizer, and then because I have an drip system, I inject into it a liquid fertilizer on top of that, and so that seems to be the answer for me, and I'm really happy with that. And I do fertilize through the growing season. Growing season's a very big season, so let's just say the summer growing season. I'll fertilize probably 3 to 4 times total between adding granulars and everything else. I'll add that in. So it's all, part of it. But yeah, that's the method that I've worked out for me.
Yeah, and that's where things start to feel like they get more complicated. So, my general rule is everything gets a granular fertilizer when I'm planting, period. No matter, of course, I'm planting things at different times, but they all get, a sprinkle of granular fertilizer, like hard stop. And then there's certain crops that are typically in my garden planted together. And I'm able to come back around, whether it's 4 or 6 weeks later, sometimes eight, right? And come back in and do a top dressing. Some crops I'm doing a water soluble fertilizer, right? But then when I go across my garden and I'm kind of plugging and playing certain vegetables that I feel like aren't the heaviest of feeders, that's when it gets a little bit more difficult for me to manage because their schedule is different. And I've
Right.
just not committed to writing it down on a calendar. This is the next time I plant this. This is the next time I fertilize that, and so on.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of times what I'll do too is if I'm not working on a schedule, then I will just look at my plants and then be able to make a judgment from there. So I may look at it and say, hey, it looks weak. Let me give it some more. But it's really important because no matter what, and I've often said this, like if you don't know what you're doing, just give it a pre-planting fertilizer. And I'm not implying, Batavia, that you don't know what you're doing. But what I'm saying
Oh
is,
wow, I didn't think that until you said it.
but what I'm saying is it's like a fail safe. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like
Yep.
you put it there and it's going to be available to it and you can go from there. And then as you go on, you can do more and more. And what I found is as I'm adding more and more fertilizer, I'm seeing bursts of growth and
Yeah.
bursts of production and stuff like that. So it's really important. So the one thing, and Batavia has talked about it a lot, is making it easy for yourself. And so that obviously is the first step to make it easy. The other way I would say is keep it really simple. Use an organic, well-balanced fertilizer. Leave all the look, all the amendments that you see. I'm going to get real close to the microphone so you can understand. All of the amendments that you see are the same thing. It's all N, P, or K. All right. So
Well,
don't go
technically, it's
crazy.
not. There are fertilizers that you can purchase that are just, potassium or just,
Right.
nitrogen.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Those are the amendments. So
Hmm.
blood meal, for instance,
Hmm.
that's just
Oh,
an extra.
interesting.
Yeah, blood meal,
I don't
bone
know that
meal, feather
I was
meal.
looking at blood meal as an amendment versus a fertilizer, but okay, I'll ride with you for a minute.
I I go both ways because it is a high nitrogen, but
Hmm. Hmm.
when it comes down to it, use a well balanced fertilizer. We've talked about that, and don't overcomplicate it. Bat guano and all that crap. It's the same
Hmm.
thing. Crap, literally
Yeah.
crap. It's all the same thing when it all comes down to it. So that's making it really easy. Now, I do want to take a few minutes here and talk about organic or synthetic.
Before you go there, though, I do want to add on to the making it easy. Generally speaking, with that well balanced fertilizer, you're not going to harm anything. So, if you've not been fertilizing your garden and you want to get started on that in the new growing season, go with granular organic fertilizer that's well balanced and just apply that kind of carte blanche when you're initially planting, right? So Ben describes it as a pre-planting, and for me that just means before I actually put a plant in the ground I do that. And then if you'd want to set a schedule 6 or 8 weeks later, come in and top dress with that same fertilizer.
Yeah.
You can, as you get more comfortable with that schedule and that routine in the coming years, tweak things. But for me, it was just about getting into the habit of doing it. That was really important to just, with the number of years I was gardening and had not been doing that, that was a pretty big deal introducing it until I was able to kind of peel this back and say, let's just simplify things. Let's just make it easy.
Yeah, and what I've often done too is just like a scoop a month in the garden.
Hmm. Hmm.
Just it's the first of the month, throw a scoop in
Yep.
and move on. So getting into organic and synthetic, there's a difference, and we've talked about it a fair amount on the show, but to give it its due, and we talked about it in the beginning, but organic, well, first of all, how do you feel about it, Batavia?
I feel like use what you feel like works in your garden, kind of hard stop. I, for the first couple of years, basically based on access, only used organic. And then I started playing around with folding in a little bit of synthetic fertilizer. And again, a lot of it leans into access, a lot of it leans into pricing. So yeah, but I think you're going to walk through like what truly is the difference between the two,
Yeah,
right?
and I mean, for me, so first of all, I do a YouTube live every Wednesday, and the people that come in, there's a lot of people that use Miracle Grow. I was very surprised by that. I don't know why I was surprised, but Miracle Grow has been around for 1,000 years. It seems like. I mean, it was the original fertilizer, basically, and it's a synthetic. But the deal with synthetics is, and we said it at the top of the show, is it immediately feeds your plants. So
Mhm.
when that liquid goes in there, and typically it's a liquid or it's water soluble, when it hits the roots, boom, it blows up and then it goes into the plant and it feeds it, which makes it very easy to over fertilize or burn your plants. It's not going to catch fire or anything, but it's basically going back to the Red Bull, like drinking a big old Red Bull and having a heart attack on the spot. So, you got to be very careful with that. The potential for it, exactly. Doesn't mean it's absolutely going to happen. We have a listener of the show. Shout out to Will. And I was talking to Will the other day, and he was saying, he's a synthetic guy, and we were talking about it. And so getting into what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a combination of both this year. I'm going to do granular organic and synthetic injection. And what he was saying, he was like, man, plants don't care. It's food to them. And I had to think about it, and I'm like, well, that's exactly right. It is. They don't really care. There is a fear of salts building up in the soil, stuff like that. But at the same time, like if you manage it correctly, I think organic fertilizers are very forgiving to a beginner. You don't have to necessarily, I mean, look, you can't go out and dump an entire bag in your garden, but if you give a little too much, fine. It takes time for it to break down. It takes about 2 to 4 weeks for that to break down. Batavia, ask me how I learned that.
Well, first I'm going to say, hey, Will.
Yeah.
And how did you learn that, young Ben?
I was growing and I was having issues, and I was like, well, let me give it some fertilizer. And I went into the internet, and I was like, how long am I going to, before I see a change? How long will it take? And across the board, it was 2 to 4 weeks. So I timed it out and I watched it, and exactly 2 to 4, about on the second to third week, the yellow started to go away, started to get greener, started to get bigger. And I started noticing these changes. You put the synthetic in, and it's just like that. So, I mean, it's not like in front of your eyes, but you come out the next day, a couple days later, and you're like, wow, you can really notice a difference. So there's a benefit of using both based on how you feel.
I think that there is the desire to see the immediate correction.
Yeah, we're losing your internet.
I think I was frozen.
Yeah. You were.
That's why I cut it short.
Yeah, what she was saying is we have the desire to see the immediate correction. And what that leads us to is not really fully paying attention to our plants and reading them. So the idea is to stay one step ahead, which is why I give fertilizer, like, again, at the beginning of the month, and you'll never really have that. You do want to be careful. You can't just add fertilizers, but when you add the fertilizer going into the synergy part of this, and with the varieties, with everything else that we've talked about so far, I don't even know what we've talked about. I forgot. All of that stuff really adds together. It's another piece to that puzzle. So whenever you give it that fertilizer, what it does is it'll just kind of magnify it, and your plant will get that boost of nutrition that it needs. Imagine doing a really hard workout and being really depleted and just being like, look, I need some protein. Well, that's what we're doing. You're giving it protein and carbs and calories, and then it'll bump up and it'll give it that boost to produce that it needs. And then that's what we're doing right there. So there's a benefit to using like actual fertilizers, not talking about composts and coffee grounds and stuff like that. We're talking about actual granular or water soluble fertilizers. Okay. That's fertilizers, everybody, in a nutshell. That's another piece of the puzzle, like I said. So definitely, if you're not using them, maybe you should at least put a pre-planting fertilizer in and get it going in the right direction. You might be surprised in how your garden will produce over the year. So we really hope you enjoyed this. If you want to support the show, you can do so by buying some seeds from us at our seed shop. You can download the Planter app, help support them. It is planting season after all, or become a patron. And remember, on this show, we do 2 things. We learn to grow, and we grow for change.
See ya.